Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I am your host, Shawn Walchef, founder of Cali BBQ and Cali BBQ Media. We are coming to you live from the 2023 National Restaurant Association show in Chicago. We are at the SEVENROOMS booth, and I am here with my man, Austen Asadorian, the SVP of Sales. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So our show is called Digital Hospitality. We believe that every business on earth needs to be digital first, especially brick and mortar businesses, and every business on earth is in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. And the way that I learned about SEVENROOMS was actually through a former guest on the show who is the CEO and co-founder of Cloudbeds. His name is Adam Harris. So Adam Harris and Richard Castle are building this incredible brand for hotels specifically. We're huge fans, they're here in San Diego, but they introduced me to Joel, your founder. And I learned about SEVENROOMS. Tell our audience, who is SEVENROOMS and what do you guys do?
Yeah, I mean, the shortest version of it is we're a reservation and guest management platform to help restaurants succeed. What does it really mean? Help you drive incremental revenue, help you make more money, help you own your guest data, help you own the end-to-end guest journey, and really provide personalized experiences for all of your guests to turn every first-time diner into a guest for life.
Now, how long have you, when did you learn about SEVENROOMS and what sold you to work for this brand?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I learned about SEVENROOMS about 7 years ago now. I've been with the company for 6 years. I was looking for my next opportunity. I have a background in hospitality. I worked in restaurants. I went to culinary school. So I understand and I care deeply about the brand. And that's what sold me about SEVENROOMS, is that they care about the operator. It's all about helping the operator succeed in a world where you have tight margins, labor shortages, food costs, everything's a challenge, and I lived that for 10 years of my life. They're providing a solution that helps operators be more successful, to make more money, and to run better businesses. And that's what sold me on SEVENROOMS.
Bring me back to the actual closing of the deal.
Yeah, it's a great...
Because so many people that listen to this show, we're all in the hospitality business. We're all learning the internet. We work with technology companies all the time, and what we try to do is simplify the internet for people through storytelling.
Sure.
What sold you?
Okay, so I worked for a restaurant group, and that restaurant group is famous. They've got 50 brands in North America. They're an incredible privately owned company. And what they excelled on was providing great service and hospitality every single day. And the results of that were they had constant repeat business. Every day, your chefs knew when they walked down the stairs, hey, John, Sally, Tim, they knew every guest that walked in that restaurant. But the technology didn't allow for it. So they knew them personally, but if you had manager turnover or staff turnover, that experience goes out the door. So when I met Joel and team, when I was joining SEVENROOMS, that was what they were selling me. A technology that allows restaurants to understand who their guests are, to drive behaviors, to drive their business, and to provide that level of experience. And living it for 15 years of my life, I understood the pains. And so SEVENROOMS, right out of the gate, is a solution whose value prop held up back in 2016, holds up just as well today, if not better.
So one of the things that impresses me the most when I learned about SEVENROOMS, we work with so many digital hospitality brands, leaders of the pack, but we're typically very narrowed in on the restaurant space. You guys are huge in hotels, and you are a global company. How many different countries are you in? What brands are you working with? And then tell me about hotels.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're in 75 countries around the world.
75 countries.
Over 300 cities. We work with the best operators in all the cities, from multi-unit operators to independent operators, Michelin star restaurants, and all of your hotels.
Wow.
Some of the big hotel brands, we work with Hyatt, Hilton, Accor, Jumeirah, IHG, but more recently, one of the more exciting partnerships was our announcement with Marriott.
Marriott.
Being a preferred restaurant technology partner globally for Marriott. So for us, it's the culmination of 2 years of great work from our team, partnering with Marriott to help bring an elevated guest experience to their entire F&B portfolio through 8,500 restaurants around the world.
8,500
8,500 hotels around the world.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
How do you roll out a project like that?
Slow and steady.
Slow and slow, like our barbecue?
It's like anything. You need to start with understanding what does success look like for the owners of the company, the stakeholders of the business, the regional leaders, but down to the restaurant level, what does success look like, right? Even if you're changing into software at SEVENROOMS, you have to understand what success is going to look like for the day-to-day users. It's a restaurant industry. They need to use the product. It needs to help them operate day-to-day and then drive the outcomes and KPIs that the business is looking to achieve. And that's the partnership we built with Marriott, where their hotels can successfully use our product efficiently, but those behaviors are what's driving the success for the properties, which rolls up to the organization, which ultimately leads to a great guest experience for all their Bonvoy members.
So we're here at the epicenter of hospitality and restaurants, a Super Bowl show at the National Restaurant Association show. What gets you fired up? Why do you make it a priority to come here?
You have to be here, right? You have to be here.
Where the deal flow happens.
There's so many restaurants in the world, and we don't work with enough of them.
Yeah.
So whether we're meeting with operators, meeting with partners, or just putting our brand out there for the world, as a B2B company, without the consumer network, we need to find opportunities to make sure people know what we do. How do we help operators succeed? How do we help the business succeed? And then if we're finding the right partners, we're meeting new operators, we're meeting for the first time. These are relationships that we're building, and that's why it's so important to be here every year.
So before the show, we talked about the problem that I see in a lot of brands is that there's a sales team and there's a marketing team. A marketing team has their own objectives, a sales team has their own objectives. They're all the same objective.
Correct.
We are all, if we believe in the brand, then we want to make an impact on the industry. What does SEVENROOMS do different than other brands?
We allow you to own your business. And when I say that, helping you drive your business the way you want. And so when you think about marketing, how do you change the industry? It's who's your guest? Understanding their behaviors. How do you market to them? How do you do it efficiently, effectively? How do you track it? How do you reduce your reliance on third parties, right? There's opportunity for you to grow your business in different ways, but you need to have an omni-channel approach. You shouldn't stick to one lane and just hope that it works. And that's been the industry for 30 years now. So now we're in 2023, the digital era. There's social media, there's marketing, there's text marketing, email marketing, social marketing. You have to take advantage of all these outlets to reach your consumers to drive your business, right? So you have to think differently, but have an open mind to trying something new, and then being able to track and evaluate the success.
So we learn through lessons and stories. Do you have any stories of any brands coming on, kind of their SEVENROOMS story of where you made such an impact that they couldn't stop but going and telling other people about it?
Yeah, there's a lot that come to mind over 6 years with the business. I think one I'll highlight is when we pivoted to offering an online ordering solution. So prior to 2020, we didn't offer online ordering. We had always considered it, but the pandemic kind of forced our hand. And so one of the things we did quickly was spin up an online ordering product to provide value for our operators. Their doors are shut, they can't service guests, what are they going to do? Okay, well, they can still do pickup and delivery. So we went back into our clients, we offered them a solution to drive revenue. And we had one partner, Alta Marea Group, who was able to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars through off-premise delivery and pickup during that tough time to help generate revenue. And so they're, one, pulling off of third-party reliance and dependencies where there's heavy fees and costs associated, so a massive cost savings, but also the incremental opportunity because they were able to sell packages, really service their brand, create bespoke experiences for the at-home diner now, because that's what mattered to them, that experience. So that was an incredible opportunity. They own all of that guest data, they can market to those guests, and now that's a tool they continue to use today to drive value to their business.
When you look here in 2023, how far SEVENROOMS has come, what gets you excited for the future?
So much. I mean, technology is changing every day. I mean, the introduction to AI to the world, that's just one component. But for SEVENROOMS, it's all about how do we take the lift out of the operator's hands, right? You run operations, they're difficult. They take time, energy, training. Changing a system is a difficult thing in general. You've got a team of 50 people running your restaurant. They're not all there on the same day. You have to train them consistently. So with SEVENROOMS, it's all about how do we make that easier? Right, we already drive the right outcomes, we already drive the KPIs that matter, but how do we actually make it easy for you to make the adjustments? So now you're building data insights tools. Hey, did you know that if you reduce your 2 tops on Friday night and you shifted more 4 tops, you'd actually drive incremental revenue north of X thousand dollars? Would you like us to do that for you? Click here. So how do we build tools like this to drive revenue, to make their jobs easier, to get the biggest impact?
How do you view the partner ecosystem? We believe a rising tide lifts all ships. Tell me about your partnership network.
Yeah, it's vast. There's a lot of partners, and I think what's nice about SEVENROOMS is we plug into all. We don't make enemies, we make friends, right? The way I think about the industry is if you're in it to win for the industry, if you care about the industry and your business ethos or the success of restaurants, then we're going to find our way to work together because we want to find good partners that have the same ethos and ingrained into their brain that restaurants matter. And as long as the partner feels that way and we feel that way, how do we connect the dots? Is it tech integration? Is it referral integration? Is it networking integration? Is it joint meetings and bringing people together? Whatever that avenue is, let's partner together to put ourselves in a place to help the restaurant succeed. That's the ultimate goal.
How many offices do you guys have?
A lot now, and we're a global business now. We're hundreds of employees around the world. We've got offices in New York, LA, satellites in Sydney, Hong Kong, Singapore, UK office. So the team has grown exponentially since I joined 6 years ago.
Most people don't stay places unless they love what they do. I can tell you love what you do. Bring us behind the scenes of what it's like to be a SEVENROOMS staff.
It's a great question.
What do you guys call yourselves?
We call ourselves the SEVENROOMS.
SEVENROOMS.
SEVENROOMS. Yeah,
but there's more than 7
there's
of you.
A lot, well north of 7. A little less. But
little less than
we're
700.
getting there.
Fair enough.
So I'll tell you the same story.
Bring us into the secret sauce.
Yeah, I'll tell you the same story I tell the team. It's actually something that goes into my well of stories and anecdotes.
Well, I like it. A well of stories and anecdotes.
So I'm afforded the opportunity to meet a lot of people in our business, in my company. New hires, interviews, prospects, partners. One of the common questions I receive is, why are you here after 6 years?
Yes.
And I've had the same answer for 6 years. It has not changed. In fact, it's gotten stronger. One, I believe we have the best product in the world. We talked about it a little bit, but what we do for operators changes the game. It allows them to be successful. We have the ethos that matter, that make a difference on an industry. We're changing a dated industry that's archaic, and they need to evolve, and we're at the forefront of it. And I believe that wholeheartedly. The best product, put us up against anybody else. Try it. 2, our product market fit. It's incredible, right? In the age of data being a currency, technology, advancements, I believe what we offer restaurants holds true today more than it did 6 years ago. We've had, economic issues, pandemic issues, you name it. Our value prop is stronger in 23 than it was in 2017. Wow. And then the last thing is the team. The team we've put together. People truly care about operators. And that's what differentiates us from a lot of the competitors in the space, is because 100% of our business is dedicated on operator success. So every person that comes in, they're not a +1 to our organization. They're multipliers to our business, to our partners, to our teams, and they're really driving growth for the industry. And that's why I love SEVENROOMS, and that's why I come motivated every day for 6 years now, and still hungry to do more.
What's the secret to selling?
The nice thing about everything I just said is you don't need a secret sauce when you have a great product that adds value.
But you have to believe in it.
The secret to selling is understanding the pain points that an operator has, and then applying the solution that you have to solve their problems. The biggest challenge is getting them to commit to the change, because the industry is change averse. But once you can show the value, there's no reason for them to say no. The question I always ask is, I'll make a deal with you.
Okay, we're making a deal.
Yeah.
You see this?
And you get to pick.
I love making deals on the show.
You get to pick either direction.
Okay.
You give me $1.
Okay.
And I give you $100. Okay? Pretty good deal.
It's a pretty good deal.
Or you give me $1,000 and I give you $10,000. Which one would you like to choose? Because in both scenarios, you're going to win.
Yes. More.
Okay.
The answer's always more.
That's SEVENROOMS, right?
Yeah.
You're going to pay a price for our product, but it's going to generate incremental revenue.
Can I give you $10,000 and you give me $100,000? Is that how it works?
We can do it that way too. We can grow this exponentially.
Okay, I like
right?
exponential
The whole idea
growth.
is when you sign up with SEVENROOMS, you're not just paying a SaaS fee. You're getting value that's going to drive exponential value. Right? On average, every one of our operators generates $4,500 a month in incremental revenue by using SEVENROOMS.
Wow.
So now we're talking north of $60,000 a year in dollars you didn't have. And I can guarantee you're not paying $60,000 a year to use SEVENROOMS.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the trick to selling, is helping you understand how we solve your problems and then understanding the value that's going to come out of it.
I love it. So every single week on Wednesday and Friday on the social audio app Clubhouse, we meet with digital hospitality leaders all over the globe, sales professionals, marketing professionals, restaurant owners, hotel operators, nightclub operators. Come on stage, tell us your story. I would love for you to give a shout out. You get one shout out.
I get one shout out.
You get one shout out.
Does it have to be anything I want?
Anything you want. One shout out on the show.
Okay, I'm going to give a shout out to my kids.
Ooh, how old are your kids?
My kids are 4 and 2, Madison and Cooper. I've been on the road all year, traveling nonstop. They miss me terribly. I miss them terribly. So a big shout out to them, and I'm going to show them this video when they get a chance.
I love it. So we always shout out moms and dads in the hospitality space, the ones that are here at this show. We know how much work it is, no matter if you work remotely, if you work in a brick and mortar, to get out of your restaurant. But This is how you move your business forward. Shout out to all the families out there. How can people connect with you, and how can they connect with Seven Rooms?
Connect with Seven Rooms at Seven Rooms on all social media channels.
TikTok?
TikTok?
Are we on TikTok?
We're on TikTok. I got the green light on TikTok.
That's fantastic.
So we're on all social channels,
social
sevenrooms.com.
channels.
You can reach me at Austen at Sevenrooms. It's my direct line, Austin with an E. So please make sure you
And
spell
you're
it
on
properly.
LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn as
You
well.
post content on LinkedIn?
Post content on LinkedIn
Did you
regularly.
post a video at the show?
I'm going to post this video on the show.
You heard it here.
We're gonna heard it
if you
here
guys want to
first.
connect with me, it's at Shawn P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef. Stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you guys next week.